Good morning and welcome to your Thursday English slides and activities. Today we are moving on from list and from two-way sentences temporarily, and we're going to explore add, same, add sentences today. Now this is a fairly new sentence type that we've kind of touched on at the beginning of last time, so we're going to revisit it today so we can really build on our creative and descriptive writing. So, guess what's back? We're going to play the adjective or noun game to start off with. We're then going to study again how add, same, add sentences are using repeated adjectives to describe and emphasize. We'll work through some examples once again together before you then go away and create your own add, same, add sentences. But without further ado, and I hope the excitement levels are as much as they were last time, it's time for a game of adjective or noun. So on the board here are a set of words. They are either adjectives or they are even nouns. Remember, adjectives, hopefully you can remember what they are. What are they here for? Absolutely. Adjectives are those descriptive words. Then what are nouns? Have a little think. What are they? Of course, nouns are the names of objects, places, things, or of course organisations there as well. Sometimes can be feelings too, but we'll cross that bridge later on. So have a look at this. We've got the word scared, maple class, dancing, walking, lamp, happy, boring, shoe, car and hiding. Pause the video, do the same as last time of course, underline or circle the adjectives in red and the nouns in green. Come back to me shortly. Off you go. Right. Here we go. So our adjectives today are scared, walking, hiding, happy, boring and dancing. Our nouns are maple class, lamp, car and shoe. Well done if you got them right. Hopefully we'll get to play a game with a little bit somewhere else soon. So, look who's back. It's our thoughtful emoji, and we are today looking at add, same, add sentences. So what can you remember about the sentence time? Pause, contemplate, write some notes, come back to me in a few moments, and we'll go through what they are shortly. See you in a moment. Okay, so, looking at what we have, add, same, add sentences, they're a little bit different than what we've looked at with list and two-way sentences because these sentences have two identical adjectives, one repeated shortly after the other, okay? So we could have for instance, of course, focus on nouns, runner, I guess he would be one or two, and it, or dog, shall I say, but nouns aren't quite as critical to these sentences as before. It's still good to be using them. That's why I've not highlighted them in green today, because our main focus is on adjectives. So to give you an idea of what we're looking at, we could say she was a fast runner. Fast because she trained hard. You need to have that adjective. You can sometimes have a noun after it. A comma needs to come after that first statement, and then the adjective needs to be repeated directly after the comma. And you need to have the word because in there to explain yourself. So you might want to go for, he was excited because it was his birthday. You're repeating that adjective, you're using it to emphasize. But remember, the word because is vital after that second adjective. Giving another example, it was an extremely tired dog, tired because it had been playing all day. So remember that structure. You need your first adjective. You can have a noun after it, but you don't have to. You then need to have a comma after that first statement. The first word after that comma needs to be that same adjective you used in the first phrase, and you then have to have the word because after it. And then, of course, you write your explanation there. So if you're not sure, pause this slide for a moment, look through it, understand it, because we're going to move on now and try a few of our own. So, when I'm looking at how I create an add, same, add sentence, there's a number of things that I can do. So, I might want to look at the picture and think to myself, what is the noun in this particular picture? What's happening in this particular picture and how are they feeling or what action are they taking? And of course, using that magical because word to explain a bit more. So, in this particular case, the noun can be the child or the pastor. One of two things you can focus on there. Just focus on one in this video, in your example, shall I say. What is happening? Well, by the looks of it, the child is refusing to eat its dinner, okay, or it's sulking. How are they feeling, or what action are they taking? So they're probably feeling sad because they're not too keen on their dinner, or they're taking the action of sulking about it. So you can then use that to come up with your add, same, add sentence. So we can tell he is a sad child, sad because he doesn't like his dinner. Or you say the child is sulking because he doesn't want his dinner. The adjective, of course, is in red, not yellow, in red, that is describing how they're feeling or what they are doing. And then of course because is there to give that little bit extra information. Okay, the child, of course, the noun, you've notified that, you've obviously used that. That would be how you create the add, same, add sentence. So, with that in mind, I want you to come up with one here. So again, here's the sentence. The adjectives were blank. Blank because, and then give me the explanation afterwards. So the red represent the adjectives. Your exclamation can be anything you want, but you need to describe what these athletes were doing or how they are feeling. So pause that video, come back to me shortly, and we'll share some of those answers. Welcome back, Year 4. So here is one I made earlier. I've gone for the athletes were sprinting because they were going for gold. The main thing that I'm looking for though is you have that adjective and it's repeated directly after the comma and you've given me an explanation. As long as you've done that, you hit and mastered the add, same, add sentence. So let's move on. Try again. Try and create an add, same, add sentence for this particular picture. She was a what dog? How is this dog going to be feeling right now with this in its mouth? She was a blank dog, blank because. And then tell me why she's feeling that way or the action she's taking. Think about it carefully, pause the video, come back to me. Right, let's have a look in Year 4. So I've gone, she was a ravenous dog. Now ravenous is another way of saying extremely hungry because its owner had forgotten to fill her bowl with food. I'd be quite ravenous if that was the case. That's how she is. You can use hungry, starving, anything like that as well. Absolutely fine. But again, as long as you've got that adjective and directly after the comma, the same adjective repeated with the word because and an explanation, you're going to be fine. That's what we're looking for today. So, it's over to you. And some of those eagle-eyed ones here are going to see we've got the same pictures as the previous 2 days. The reason is clear for that. We want you to see the progression you're making through the week and how you can adapt your writing for different sentence types. So today you're going to be creating add, same, add sentences. There is the warm, hot or spicy PDF to choose from. Again, towards the hot and particularly spicy levels, try and include that fronted adverbial or opener, shall I say, for an adverb vice versa opener at the beginning of your sentence. Best of luck with that Year 4 and I'll see you tomorrow.